Good morning. Today is Halloween. Happy Halloween. And we're going to start with a daily reflection on the New Testament. I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. So often one sows while another reaps. One set of faithful missionaries works their hardest and spreads the seeds of testimony far and wide, but no convert baptisms take place during their stay in the area. Months or years later, their successors come into town, revisit the investigators, bear witness anew, fan the flame that once burned, and see testimony ripen. While each ambassador of the faith brings a new set of talents and abilities, and perhaps even a more convincing witness of this work, it is the Lord, through his Spirit, that brings about true conversion. Men and women are but instruments in the hands of the Master. God calls them, empowers them, and guides their labors, and thus the honor and glory of the fruit that follow belong to him whose work this is. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read this morning. Anyways, today is Hebrews chapter 2. I don't know, something's up with my eyes. Okay. Hebrews chapter 2. And in this, it talks about Christ. It talks about him, how he was sent, why he was sent, what his mission was, all that good stuff. So it was a little bit hard to pick a personal statement like, I should do this, or I will do this, or, so on and so forth, because it was talking about Christ and what he would do, which you're thinking, if you're going to follow Christ, you're going to do what he would do. But I chose verse 17. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. Just on the lines of what I was talking about yesterday, about how I don't feel like I've gotten closer to the Savior during this study. This is saying that he came to earth, he did these things, he was mortal, he was made lower than the angels so that he could be close to me, so that he could understand me. But here's the thing, he knows me, he understands me, he's been through what I've been through, and he's standing right there, and he's just like, Haley, I'm just right here. Take a step closer. Come closer to me. I've done all these things so that I could be next to you. Now you just need to all the way over here. It's not even that far, really. But, and my statement is basically that. He was like me so that he could be near to me. It's not that that's what keeps me from him, is thinking he's unknowable or unreachable. That's not what keeps me from him. It's the distractions. It's the job. It's the stress. It's the losing my temper. It's, the projects, or I don't know. I'm very much, they don't say be like this, where it's like, here's a checklist and you're going to be a good disciple of Christ. Give me the checklist. I want the checklist. That's what I want. I can be like, yep, did that, yep, did all those things. But then they say, yeah, you're near me in, appearance, but your heart is far from me. Like, I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm a project girl. I'm a checklist girl. Anyways, let's get into our verse by verse. For verses 6 through 8, Hebrews 1:14 refers both to resurrected angels and to disembodied spirits. The prophet Joseph Smith clarified that an angel is a resurrected being, such as Moroni, or a translated being, such as Moses or Elijah, who ministers to embodied spirits, that is, to us. A ministering spirit is a disembodied spirit who ministers to disembodied spirits, such as Jesus did between death and resurrection, that is, spirit to spirit. Angels are under the direction of Michael. For verse 10, the Savior was made perfect through suffering. Why a suffering Savior? The important answer is given in Hebrews 2:18 and 4:15. He can judge us because he knows the desires of the flesh. He can relate to our infirmities because he too has lived through mortality. Truly, he was made like unto us in all things, so that he would know how to nurture us. For verse 12, the term church in the Old Testament refers to a congregation. For verse 17, the purpose of Christ's mortality was to make reconciliation for the sins of the people, that is, to make an atonement for them. The Hebrew term for reconciliation is kapara, from which comes Kippur, as in Yom Kippur, meaning atonement. All right. I don't know how to focus on Christ at work. I don't know how to do that. Yesterday, we were so busy. The closer called in, so I had to stay from open to close. The air conditioners were broken, and you're thinking, it's October. It was like 12 degrees outside. Yeah, 12 degrees outside, but the sun was shining, so it was 85 degrees inside. And that's me being sassy. Once again, control your temper. So anyways, I was tired, I was hot, and I was annoyed. And how do I take a minute, go in the back, center, and say a prayer? Maybe. I don't, like, the other people I work with, they're not LDS. So and playing a Motab does not, produce the energy that needs to happen to get the work done on a busy day such as that. So anyways, I don't know. How do I focus on Christ at work? How do I bring that about? I don't know. All right. Today is the 31st, and I will leave you with a prayer from a diary of prayer. This one is from C.S. Lewis. I love him. Okay. Now that night is creeping o'er our travailed senses, to thy care unsleeping we commit our sleep. Nature for a season conquers our defenses, but the eternal reason watch and ward will keep. All the soul we render back to thee completely, trusting thou wilt tend her through the death-like hours, and all night remake her to thy likeness sweetly, then with dawn awake her and give back her power. Slumbers less uncertain, brother, soon will bind us. Darker falls the curtain, stifling close 'tis drawn. But amidst the prison still thy voice can find us, and as thou hast risen, rise us in thy dawn. Clearly I didn't find the right cadence that goes along with that, but we did what we could. Okay, that was Hebrews chapter 2, and tomorrow we do 3. Tomorrow's November. Happy Halloween. Let's get this day done.